welcome back to Psychology Squadron. In this season, we are going to explain about PTSD, which is Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder. Hi, I'm Tarjit Kogin and I'm interviewer 1.
Hi, I am Annie Sharini and I am the editor.
Hi, my name is Navishari. I'm the interview 2.
Hi, I'm Sachin Dekor and I'm a scriptwriter.
The objectives are to find out whether post-traumatic stress disorder is more severe in male teenager or female teenager. Give some suggestions on how to overcome PTSD in teenagers.
What is post-traumatic stress disorder? Post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, is a mental health condition triggered by a terrifying event, either experiencing it or witnessing it. There are 4 types of PTSD: acute, chronic, delayed onset, complex.
Okay, so some of the symptoms of PTSD in teenagers are bad memories, also known as flashbacks, bad dreams or trouble sleeping, and then avoiding stuff that associate you with that memory, not enjoying things like before, and feeling more easily startled. Next, what are the events that can cause post-traumatic stress disorder in teens? First of all, physical or sexual abuse, bullying, witnessing natural disasters, sudden loss of loved ones, and being a target of hate.
Okay, about our timeline. On 6th October, we started to search for a topic for our interview. And on 13th October, we started to do the research on the topic that we searched, which is PTSD. And on 20th October, we did a survey and sent to all the teens that we know. And finally, on 27th October, we interviewed our respondent and did our presentation.
Who did we interview? We interviewed some of our friends from different schools. We interviewed 2 boys and 2 girls. Both girls are aged 16. Both boys are aged 17.
So how did we interview them? Okay, so we sent a survey to all of our contacts who are teenagers to identify the people who are showing some signs of PTSD. We received 20 responses and 4 of them were showing many symptoms of PTSD. So where did we interview them? We interviewed all of them in their own houses.
These are our respondents' results from the survey. As you can see, they all have high to severe impact of PTSD.
The question we asked them in survey are: any reminder brought back feeling about the event? Had trouble staying asleep? Other things kept making you think about it? Have you felt irritable and angry? Have you thought about the event when you even didn't mean to? Have you felt as if the event hadn't happened? Have you stayed away from reminder of the situation? Did you experience images related to the event popping in your mind? Have you tried not to think about the event? Have you felt numb about the event? Have you tried to erase that memory in your mind? Have you ever experienced panic attack, shivering, or sweating? Have you had dreams about the event? Do you feel hard to talk about the event? Thank you.
Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Psychology Squadron. And now we are here with Respondent 1. Hello, Respondent 1.
Hi,
How are you feeling?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. So I'd like to ask you some questions regarding your trauma. The first one is, what was the most traumatic event of your life?
Well, actually, I had plenty of traumatic events in my life, but One of the worst, I would say, is losing my parent, losing my dad in a very tragic accident.
So how has your sleep been since that event?
My sleep, this has affected my sleep quite badly because I used to be a very good sleeper and I used to sleep throughout the night. So once if I'm asleep, I do not wake up at all throughout the night until the next day. But since I lost my dad, I think I've been waking up frequently in the middle of the night, and I don't know if it's fear or I'm waking up terrified, and it's very hard for me to fall asleep back, and I'm awake for the whole night. It has, I would call it maybe a mild insomnia.
Yeah. So, when you're going through that trauma, what steps do you take to calm yourself down or to divert your, thinking?
Actually, I share my grief with my close ones. I talk to my friends all of the time. I talk to my family. I try to divert my attention. Like, totally try not to think, sit and think about it.
Okay, so if you were to give any advice to the people who are going through a trauma right now, what would that be?
I would say grief will never end, but forgive yourself because no one has a perfect relationship with a parent. And grow from the loss. You gotta focus on the other parent as well and take lessons from your past relationship.
Thank you very much, Jasmine.
Responded 1. Traumatic event. Loss of her father in a tragic accident. Sleep badly affected. How she overcome that trauma? By diverting her attention and talking to her close ones.
I know, right? Oh, hi! Didn't notice you guys. And now we are here with respondent 2. Hello, respondent 2.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, so I'd like to ask you some questions regarding your trauma. The first one would be, what was the most traumatic event of your life?
The most romantic event of my life was when I was bullied when I was 15 years old.
Okay, were you mentally bullied or physically?
I was physically bullied.
Okay, so how has your sleep been since that event?
My sleep has not been affected.
Okay, so what were the steps you took to overcome that trauma?
The step that I took to overcome this trauma was that I learned self-defense
Okay.
to protect myself.
Okay. So, if you were to give any advice to the people who are going through a trauma right now, what would that be?
My advice would be that speak to someone about it. Don't just keep it to yourself. And you can also learn some self-defense to protect yourself.
Okay. Thank you very much, respondent.
Welcome.
About respondent 2, his most traumatic life event is that he was bullied when he was 15 years old. But his sleep was not affected. He overcome the trauma by learning self-defense.
Now, respondent 3. Hello, respondent 3.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So, I would like to ask you some questions regarding your trauma. The first one will be, what was the most traumatic event of your life?
Okay, the most traumatic event in my life was when I became a target of hate among my friends.
Okay, so how has your sleep been since that event?
My sleep was really affected due to this event.
Okay, what were the steps you took to overcome that trauma?
Well, baking and painting really helped me out to overcome my trauma.
Okay, so if you were to give some advice to the people who are going through a trauma right now, what would that be?
Well, life is short and problems doesn't last forever. Always look at the bright side.
Okay, thank you, respondent 3. Okay, so as for respondent 3, the most traumatic event of her life was being a target of hate. Her sleep was badly affected, and the steps she took to calm herself from that trauma was painting and baking.
Is what was the most most traumatic event of your life?
Losing someone that I love. It was my grandparents.
Yeah. How was your sleep been since that day?
My sleep was terrible because I have been going through some weird dreams.
Okay, the third one is, how do you calm yourself down?
I will calm myself by listening to music, doing some arts.
What are the advice you want to give to the people who are going through a trauma?
You should look after your own health and you shouldn't stress too much about it. So yeah.
Well, as for respondent 4, the most traumatic event of his life was losing his grandparents. His sleep was badly affected, and the steps he took to overcome that trauma were listening to music and doing some arts.
Ways to overcome PTSD is by reminding yourself that those incidents are just memories, or you can just talk about it to someone that you trust. You can also go to trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy, or you can distract yourself with some positive activities. You can eat healthy, exercise, and sleep well.
The conclusion is, according to the survey result and the interview we done, we can see the females do show more symptoms of PTSD than the males. So the conclusion of our mini research will be that female teenagers have higher risk in PTSD than males.